Welcome to Back Yourself, BackChat's new podcast, speaking to business leaders and decision makers. This week, we speak with Daniel Bradshaw, founder of StreetX. StreetX has grown into one of the world's biggest streetwear brands, known for chaos marketing and sell-out drops. But how did it all start? We go behind the scenes with Daniel and find out exactly how we did it. It's a great episode. Enjoy. Okay, here we are, Back Yourself, BackChat's new business podcast. Drop the attitude. Daniel Bradshaw. This is not Gucci Smoothie. This is Daniel Bradshaw, StreetX founder. Mate, nice to see you. Thank you for being with us.
Of course, mate. Brought in the big guns, I see.
I'm going to see how quickly it is before you drop this bullshit. All right, mate, we've become good mates, and it's great to be able to chat to you about what you've done in business, to be honest, because it's been impressive to watch. And I want to get into what's not on social media too. I want you to just give me a little bit of.
Yep.
You want some.
Sounds like you're easily impressed though.
No, not by you. Not by you, mate. It's like I don't know how much time you spend on yourself. Well, I've clearly a lot, but reflecting on where you are now for where it began.
Yeah, a long time ago.
And I want to go back even further from where business began. But what's life like growing up for you? Are you a sibling? Are you? Well, yeah.
Sibling. No cool backstory. No cool hard upbringing or anything like that. I was just big into sport, and then obviously, as I think every kid who's sort of grown up in Oz or pretty much anywhere wants to be a pro athlete. Or most kids I knew, we all wanted to be athletes. And then as you get a little bit older, you realise, unfortunately, that's not going to happen for all of us, sadly. So when I got to sort of high school, I was like, oh, what am I going to do if I'm not going to play in the English Premier League? That was my first thing. And then I wanted to be a professional fighter, and then obviously realised pretty quickly that wasn't going to happen either. So with both those things, it's sort of like, you're like, okay, what am I going to do then if I'm not going to go down those paths? When I was at school, I sort of wanted to be... the first thing I resorted to outside of sport was a physio, because I was like, that's very sport involved. If I can't be on the pitch, how could I be as involved as possible? When you fast forward to look at where I am now, it's obviously, you'll see the connection. But from there, I sort of was like, oh, I don't really just want to be rubbing dudes all day or whatever it might be.
Girls.
Yeah, or females. And then from there, I sort of like, oh, what's the next thing? My dad was always very business involved through his career. So the next thing I sort of looked at was sales and marketing, and my initial thought of that was, oh, is that like I'm just phoning people up and being like a door-to-door salesman type thing? That was my knowledge of the subjects. In high school, you don't really have a sales and marketing. You have an economics class, which is like a diluted version of accounting and macroeconomics, microeconomics, how the world is meant to work.
Yes.
So that's not something I learned at sort of school. But I just like people. So from there, I think that's where the sort of sales and marketing thing came. So I ended up doing a business degree at university. And again, that was just like an extension of school. School, I did really well in terms of numbers and studying hard, and I did really well in year 12. Year 11, I flunked half the year because my parents just wanted me to do all the hardest subjects. So I did physics and chem and all that sort of stuff, which I had no interest in at all and didn't do well. And then year 12 did the classes I wanted and then went on to uni. Same thing, and I just sort of rote learn as much as I could and cheated as much as I could in assessments. And that was the beauty of university. It sort of taught me to be resourceful because I wanted to do as minimal amount of work. After doing a lot of work in year 12, I was like, this is way easier. I don't have to wear a school uniform. I can wear what I want. There's different people. I can do what I want, and how can I do that with doing the least amount of work? Which now I look back now is obviously not the best way to do it. However, the resourcefulness and learning where to sort of get things from definitely came about in university.
And maybe you could call it efficiency rather than cheating.
Exactly.
It's like find ways to do things in the fastest or best way possible. You mentioned your parents, like were they business owners? Were they entrepreneurs? Were they startups, or did they have regular jobs?
Like, they came here from South Africa when my brother was 2 and I wasn't born yet. So they came here. My mum was a hairdresser of all things, and my dad had been in the SA Army, and then was just always quite entrepreneurial and involved in business. He got into a lot of tech sort of stuff, and then was a software engineer and all in engineering sort of space. And he did it really well for himself here, working at a number of massive companies and at a number of startups. and did well for himself. And then he obviously got into a little bit of trading and financial stuff as he got older. So he has done well for himself, but they are hardworking people from no real point of affluence or high education. They just worked very, very hard.
Do you reckon that's what you took
For
most
sure.
out of them?
For
is
sure,
like
yeah,
hard work?
Yeah, 100% hard work. I mean, I look at, obviously, myself. They came to Australia when they would have been 28 and 30. I looked at myself when I was 30 in little old Perth, set up with a great business, but my life didn't just get changed completely and moved to the other side of the world where you know no one.
That's a good point. That's a good point. So speaking about school, about uni, about sort of that journey, at what point do you start thinking, well, you know, I want to start my own business, or I don't know.
I've just always been someone who doesn't like being told what to do. That's just always been my mentality. With coaches when I was young, when I played soccer or football or fighting, I would always be the kid on the field with long hair, earrings, colourful boots. When I was fighting, I wouldn't wear any fight stuff. I'd train in a soccer jersey and shorts. I'd want to be the guy who could beat up someone in good gear. That was always my mentality, is how can I be different? And when I was at school, the exact same. Free dress day came, I had pink shoes on. There was always something where I wanted to be different and have what other people didn't. And that's sort of why I started the business in the industry. I mean, now streetwear is very much built off the exclusivity and having things that other people don't. So I think that's where that stemmed from. And then now to where I'm in business today, that's how a lot of the creativity comes, is constantly looking for something that someone else doesn't have, or how can we take something and do something else with it that no one else has done.
Did you start something, whether it be the business you're doing now, or did you start something before what is StreetX now, and it failed?
Yeah. I was at university, and me and one of my mates started selling fake NBA hats and jerseys off Facebook. We found like a Chinese website, which we thought they were real. And obviously, as you get older, you realise things aren't. We just found a jersey place and a hat place, and someone else was doing it. And we were like, instead of buying them from them, why don't we just buy it cheaper and then we can sell them too? So we just sort of did that. Made zero money and it failed miserably.
Did it have a business name? Did it have a name?
States Marketplace. Yep. Right. And I've still got some of the hats in our warehouse now, boxed up, covered in dust. As a reminder, don't go all in on things without a bit of understanding of what you're doing. But yeah, that was where it sort of started. And then from there, when I finished university, I was like, a lot of my friends, same thing, finished university, like, oh, cool, we got a degree, what do we do now? And I think that still happens to this day. Because one thing I noticed at university, I was like, I'm just sort of rote learning like I did at school. You get given a sort of a mock exam, you know what the framework of the exam is going to be. Cool, how can I work that out the best way to know what I'm going to get and just prepare for that and then execute that. When I'd walk out of university, I don't remember anything, I just did. So that was one thing I sort of had a problem with learning at high school and university. And then when going into the business world, I was like, I don't really want to just go work somewhere for someone. Like I didn't see any positive in that. So I again got a loan and started the business. And then, fast forward 15 years, we're here.
Yeah, but it sounds like when you started, like perhaps you didn't think you were getting into maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but you're not getting into business. You just want to do something where you can control it yourself. I just want to not be told.
I went into it with no perception or understanding of money or success. I just went into it like, this is what I want to do. No one can tell me what to do. I'm going to do it. And then, I never thought I'd be able to buy a house or even a car. I didn't think anything when I started. I was like, I just want to do this. Yeah. There was no forward planning. There was no goal setting. There was nothing.
What was it? Like, if it was nothing, what was it?
I was like, why can't I do it?
So, but what was it though? Like, what did you actually do? Did you go and buy some T-shirts?
Literally got a loan, worked out how to buy a business name, do a trademark, set up a website, buy some stock. So we sourced a bunch of different stock from around the world from brands rather than selling our own stuff. I didn't know how to create a brand. I was like, cool, I've done a degree, but that doesn't mean you can start a brand.
Right.
So we started selling a bunch of other brands from around the world.
From where?
New York, LA.
No, where are you selling them from?
Oh, from my house. And then our shonky website we'd set up. And then we did a few pop-ups. But the website, it's like, people don't understand it's a different world. Like nowadays to back then, there was no social media. Or we had MySpace and Facebook hadn't just started.
What was your song on MySpace?
There was a New York rapper. He's a very obscure New York rapper. I can't even
I don't
remember
know
his
why
name.
I always remember, but it was that bring Sally up, bring Sally down.
I don't know.
Mate,
Singing all.
it's used for. Oh, you're a fit man now. You're a strong fit man now. Mate, they do workout routines to it. Like every up, like bring Sally down. You go up, down, up,
Yeah,
down.
that's not my vibe.
Oh, sorry, mate.
So yeah, it was an era where it was a different time. Like you couldn't just start a website and things would sell, which you sort of can do now, which is obviously a completely different world. So I was like, oh, this online stuff's way harder than I thought it was going to be. So we started doing a few pop-ups, and obviously that's what I was good with people. I knew a lot of people. I was like, oh, cool, I can get people to come here. So we did a few pop-ups, and it slowly snowballed into that. And then a year and a half later, we got an actual physical store. So from there, the physical store was always the focus. Online sort of sat on the back burner. We weren't really selling any orders. Online just existed, and the store became like an epicenter of me in my early 20s partying with my friends. And that was what it became, sort of, and that's what sort of helped build the brand.
And was that StreetX?
Yep. Yeah, that was StreetX.
Started as StreetX?
Started as StreetX, and it was originally just a store.
Yes.
We sold brands.
Where was it? Was that North?
We had a pop-up in Freo. Growing up, I never went to Freo. I had a friend who had a gallery in Freo, and he was like, you can have some stuff there. And I was like, fuck, I have to drive to fucking Freo. And
how do I get to Freo?
Yeah, and that's how it started. I just went to Freo every day. Some weeks we did $60 in sales. And that was just reality. I was living at home, so I was fine. I could exist. I just had all the stock in my room, and they would have the stock at the place, and that was it. And then I think 6 months later, I met a girl who said there was pop-ups in Northbridge, and I was like, is Northbridge busier than Freo? And she was like, yeah. So I was like, all right, let's go. So I went there. And then that's where it started trickling a little bit more. We sold a few more things. We started making a few of our own things. Because in Freo, we'd just given away our our StreetX tees we'd made. And then fast forward to a year and a half, and I was like, oh, we sort of need a store. And the pop-up was coming to an end. And I just saw a store on Facebook that was closing down, so I just messaged the agent. And he was like, how do you know this is available? And I said, I've seen it on Facebook. And then went there the next few days, had a look at it, and then signed a lease, didn't even read it, and signed it 5 years.
Do you think early days, are you still like it now where you probably just made some decisions where you're like, oh, fuck it, I'll just do it?
Yep, 100%.
Do you still do that?
Yep.
Do you reckon that's a strength?
Yeah, I mean, it's like everything. It's a strength and a weakness. Because I think I back myself into know if it's working with an athlete on the sports side of the brand, if it's going with collaborating with a brand on the mainline brand, or if it's making a specific product, you have to. You have to be able to back yourself in, and you have to have that sort of vision, if you want to call it that, or idea to understand, cool, yeah, this is going to work. And a lot of the times it doesn't. That's the hard thing.
That's interesting because, you'll sit here and tell us about the good times, definitely, but I do like getting into a bit of the challenges and stuff.
Yeah.
So like what's early days, what's the biggest challenge to it? Is it the online, is it getting people to know what you're doing? Or is it you can tell your story, but you're not trying to scale a worldwide business probably in year one.
I didn't even know what a worldwide business looked like. Like back then, streetwear was a very different world, and it was very New York or LA run by the American brands. So I was just looking at them being like, cool, I want to do that. I had no clue what I was doing. I can't remember what year it was, but I very nearly went completely broke. My bank account was minus $80,000.
Why?
So basically what we did, it was the first time we'd ever done like a distribution where you sell to stores. So there was a store called, in a chain in the US called Urban Outfitters, which placed like a 50K US PO, so whatever that is, 90 or 85K or 90K at the time in Aussie. And again, I had no money, so this was just cash flow from the business. So I was, we're going to be rich. Like I just put a massive order. So we stopped our production to fit their order in. They have a lot of regulations. You have to do this, you have to do this. You can't be over, can't be under. So I just told the factory, I was like, bro, you just fulfill their order and then send our stuff after. So we filled their order, send it all off. They didn't pay us for 90 days. And then my factory was like, oh, cool, we've got your order ready. Now it was delayed. So all our winter stuff came in August, so it was the end of winter in obviously Perth, where our main market was at the time. And he's like, oh, cool, I need the money and I'll ship you the stuff. And I was like, oh, fuck, I'm a bit short on cash. Like, I was like, oh, I don't really have much money. Like, so he ended up sending it, which was great. And we tried to sell some, but couldn't sell much of it. And then the Americans just didn't pay us. So for like 3 months, I was like minus 80 or 90K in my bank. And I remember just like being like, man, I've borrowed money to do this. And now my bank account reads minus 90. So from then I was just like, I never want to be in that position ever again. Started chipping away and paying off X amount X week. And then, fast forward a year from there, the business was in a very different place.
Was it only yourself you had answerable to at that stage? Like, were you
Still is, mate.
yeah.
Always, yeah. That's one of my big
But
things.
maybe not
It's
answerable
always.
to, sorry, but like responsible to. You got a lot of staff now.
Yeah, but I'm super motivated from day one. Is if you've got into it, you go 110%. You would know sports, the same thing. You got to perform. Like you've dedicated your life to this. So I don't need someone above me to tell me what to do. I don't need someone to tell me to work 70 hours. I don't need someone to 80 hours, whatever it might be. I don't need someone to tell me to do that. I'll do that myself. I chose to do this.
Yes.
So I want to do it. So I'm so excited to do it. So the only thing was hard was like, fuck, I got heaps of debt. Like I just had no money. So I was trying to work out how to get money, obviously, from then. And that's what I look at now. It's like, obviously, I see people now in business who 1, 2, 3, 4 years are doing amazingly well. After 10 years, I still had no clue. That's the crazy thing where, again, everyone's journey is so different. Everyone learns at different rates. For some people, that's great. For some people, that's bad. My biggest thing is just being the last one standing. Keep being able to do what I want to do. Keep growing and keep doing different things as opposed to just rushing to do something. Because I've been stuck in that rat race before. I still make mistakes to this day, getting stuck in things I shouldn't be doing. But it's hard. It's trying to get like almost that northern star or whatever you want to call it. Cool, that's the direction I just got to keep going. I can veer off here. I can veer off there. As long as I keep going that way is the most important thing I find.
So what about fashion in itself as an industry?
Yep.
Like, has that presented its own challenges given that, I don't know, like you said you love sports growing up. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Fashion sucks. I mean, it is. It's just like, it's lame. I mean, to me personally, that's why I think it's really lame. The thing I like about it is obviously self-expression. I'm not interested so much in what the market is necessarily doing because I think some of it's really lame. It's really bad. People wearing specific things like some pants dudes are wearing, they look like flares. Not even flares aren't too bad. I don't mind them. It's more like balloon pants. That's not. I don't vibe with that. So I don't care what you're doing. If you can make and sell as many of them as you want, I'm never going to make them. That's a good thing and a bad thing. So for me, I say it's lame, but it's great. It gives me so much motivation because I can make exactly what I want, and I can make exactly what I think our customer wants, and not be bothered by necessarily what's going on in the market. There's so many trends which I've seen and I'm like, I don't even know how that's possible. Like how could an adult wear that? Or how could a child or kid or whoever it might be wear that? But everyone's unique in their own ways.
What comes first then though? The what you want to do or like what your customer wants? Or are they the same thing?
I think they very much coexist. Obviously, there's a lot of things that I want to wear and want to do that's a bit too a bit too eccentric and a bit too different. But again, some of our customers love that stuff. Some of our customers want some more simple stuff. I like being able to exist in a world where I think we transcend certain sort of demographics. And I think we transcend sort of segments within the fashion space. And that's where I like being because that's what, as me as a person, that's what I've always been like. I've always tried to get the thing and do the things that other people aren't.
Yeah, I kind of thought that before I chatted to you and like you, not edgy's wrong word, but like on the edge a bit.
Yep.
Is that feels like,
Correct.
especially early days, like you kind of, it looked like you had a bit of a movement almost, or like, yeah, you'd call it your community of followers or your audience or customers, whatever it is, but like it's a little bit on the edge. You're like
Correct.
trying to break the boundaries a bit.
Yeah.
Has that motivated you? Is that something you've done or is that just naturally how it's gone? It's not something you try to do.
No, I think that's naturally, at the end of the day, it would have happened if it was something I was actively trying strategically to do. I think it should have happened a lot faster. And I think that's what's sort of taken us such a long time to get here is because a lot of things have been more natural than planned. Obviously, of course, as with every business, there are some strategic things you've done. But I think a lot of our stuff has been more natural. There's a lot of things in the industry I don't like, so we don't go down those paths. And we focus more so on what we present to the customer. I'm sure if you looked at our social media or my social media, it's very different to traditional brands. A lot of it's not really focused on product. It's focused, again, on what specific customers or people or atypical sort of people we think do, or myself or people involved in the brand. It's always been built around that. I hate brands who you go on their caption and it's like, a brand like no other, community driven, like you shouldn't have to say that. People should look and know. You go through the content will tell you. Where someone's going to tell, a brand like no other, cool, yeah, that's what every other fucking brand on Instagram says. And it's just a generic photo of a nice high definition camera. It's the same shit as everyone else.
Yes.
Tell us without telling us. That's something we've always tried to do, and of course we've failed at doing that. But I think there's sometimes we've done it really well.
Talk to me about failure. Like, how do you feel about failure? I sort of look at not this generation. I'm not acting like someone who's older and knows better, but like it does feel like, losing and failing is becoming almost not taboo, but we're sort of trying to teach kids sometimes like losing's not a part of life. Like, what do you look at failure and losing in the lessons you've learned?
That's why I love and hate social media, because there's just so many snake oil salesmen and frauds, and people fall for it day after day. Like, if you can't take the piss out of yourself and make fun of yourself and do all this stuff online, you can't be talking shit about other people, or you can't be posturing like you're someone. End of the day, most of us are absolutely irrelevant. And most of us are no one, and there's always a bigger fish. You got to think like that. There's always someone bigger, better, with more money, better looking, everything than you.
Heaps of people are better looking than you.
Mate, I don't know about that. But you can't live life thinking you're number one. There's always gonna be, like, you can never reach the top. You always have to think like that. You always have to keep aspiring to get the top. You're never gonna get the top. It's endless. You'll die and someone will come beat you. Always just got to focus on getting next. Always trying to level up, as opposed to being the guy online selling a course saying you do this and it will change your life. There's no shortcut. There isn't a shortcut. Stop trying to find one. If you're fat, go for a run. If you suck, go train. Get better. If you suck at business or if you suck at your job, work out how to get better. It will take time. And unfortunately, everyone nowadays gets to take shortcuts. Some people do it really well on social media, and they get to a level where they probably shouldn't have, but they do. And that's great for them.
Yeah. But
some people try and you learn very quick. Oh, I've posted 10 videos. None of them's got 1 million views. Why not? It's not reality. There's the 1% in every division or every industry. Again, they get there. It's the others who are so happy to try and then give up so quickly. Like, you've got to focus on, if that's what you want to do, go do it. Don't just do it for 6 months and, oh, fuck, that didn't work. What's the next thing I can do? You've got to just know when to pull the plug, of course, but you've got to know if that's what you really want to do, you've got to keep going, because eventually it will crack. Like, for us, there's never been one item or release that changed our business. It's just been the consistent time of doing the same thing over and over.
yes.
As, again, I know that everyone says, oh, do the basic, what is the 1% every day, the generic marketing jargon. Again, it's if you've done it in real life, you can see, okay, cool. It's just keep doing what you want to do. Focus on, again, your trajectory and vision, and if you can stay true to that for long enough, it might work.
Yeah. So given that you don't do the like generic marketing bullshit, which I very much respect about you, what do you think drives success? Like, is it all those things?
I think number one is authenticity. Being yourself. Being yourself, you're going to get a lot of people that don't like you. The ones that do like you are going to love you. And that's what I've noticed. Again, when I was younger, no one wants to be hated. But that's part of success or improvement or getting to the next level, is you're going to leave people behind. You're going to upset people. You're going to piss people off. That's fine. That's just getting used to that, and it's getting thicker skin. That's the biggest thing I've noticed, is just get thicker skin as things go on. And again, as long as you focus on what's true to you or your business or your customer base, that's the most important. That's what we've always sort of tried to do with the business, and that's like one of the business's core values, is being authentically you, or authentically Australian is what we started off as. And as the businesses sort of got bigger and we want to do more, it's authentically you. Like, you can have pink rat tails, you can have whatever it might be, you can have 3 legs, you can still wear StreetX. You're not going to be treated any different. It's about being yourself. And if you can embody that sort of value, more than happy to wear StreetX, of course.
What about looking forward and looking back for you? Are you a big kind of just keep plowing forward guy? Do you spend much time thinking about what's going on?
Always forward. Once the sales, like, again, we can have the best release of all time. Next hour, I've forgotten about it. Yeah, that's one. It's a blessing and a curse, because for me, I don't give a fuck. It's on to the next one. But for your team and the people around you, again, even customers, you need to celebrate those things. Customers want to feel a part of that. Team members want to be applauded. That's just never something I've done for myself. Like, I'm never one to, like, oh, this release is done well, let's buy this. Like, let's buy a car or what. I just don't. That's not my personality. I am more focused on, cool, what's the next thing? Or what's the next thing? Like, what can I wear next? What can I make next? I remember when I was a kid, for Christmas, I'd be up at 4 a.m. waiting for my presents. And then I'm still like that now when deliveries come with new stock. I'm waiting. Once DHL knocks on the door, ripping the package open. That's how I know I'm still interested in the business.
Well, it's interesting, like your partner, former professional athlete, very good sort, too good for you. Definitely batting well above your average. But that mindset, all you're talking about is sport mindset, really.
Exactly. It's the exact same.
It's never heard you say that, but like it's identical, right?
But that's even the same, like even the joke you made about Liz. That mindset is like, you're always going to be doubted. You're never going to get this. You're never going to get that. And I love that. That's like, for me, that mindset is business.
You know, I say it with love. Yes.
No, but it's the most important. Like I remember every time I fought and every time I played soccer, you're never going to be good enough. You're never going to make it. You're too small. You're too this. You're too that. You're not good enough in this department. Everyone tells you that your whole life. Teachers, like I look back at the teachers, I'm like, you're this. Like I look at when I'm my age now, they were telling me I'm too dumb to do business in school. It doesn't matter how dumb you are. Is if you try hard enough and do it, you can persist through it and get past that adversity, then it's always, the grass is greener on the other side. I think that's why I've always gravitated towards sports now through product. And like what I said at the start, the biggest thing I looked at when I was at school and finishing sport, I wanted to be a physio, to be associated with sport. What I've done with the business, subconsciously, everything is pushed towards that same ideology. I'm now so entrenched in sports without even trying to be. Just through persisting with the business and getting to the point where we are now.
Well, I wonder if you can see it, but like me as an external, like I sort of loved what you've done with Jack Della Maddalena, right? And maybe I don't know how you look at it or how Jack looks at it, but I've watched it as a UFC fan.
Yep.
I've kind of seen you guys. It's like, oh, this is weird. Like, the fuck is StreetX and Jack kind of getting together? But you know, it was earliest. Like you just like. And I think why you've had success there, and he's done the athletic thing and become world champion. Yeah. No thanks to you. But you're like a day one guy for you. It's a person thing. It's a connection, like people thing, right? Like you backed him in as a person and rather than, I'm going to back a winner here.
No, correct.
You tell me, but like that's how 100%. It's looked from.
Well, that's how it's got to be. Again, it's like it's all about being authentic. Like if you think someone aligns. Like if you look on an athlete perspective, the only two athletes we've ever officially sponsored are Jack Della Maddalena and Craig Jones. Two polar opposites in personality, but in performance, both top of the world. But personality is completely different. And I look at for us, we don't do the same thing with both of them. You're an idiot if you do, because Craig is an absolute lunatic like me, and anything I want to do, I'm like, cool, take your shirt off. We'll do this. Let's do this. Let's get a pink car and do burnouts. He'll do it straight away. Whereas Jack, we obviously want to play more into his character. So everything we've done on a branding perspective, from content to product to colours, to everything you would have seen with that relationship, has been built on amplifying him as an entity, as a brand, not trying to go, oh, how can we just force him to be StreetX? How can we force him to be like me? Because that goes against the whole brand values. If we're saying authenticity is our focus, we need to focus on him as his authentic self, which I think we've done pretty well. And you speak to anyone, whenever I've traveled around the world, everyone's like, man, he can fight. And that's amazing. But it's like, cool, the other side is people want to know more about it. But like he's just like this mysterious
enigma,
guy. And it's like, to me, it's almost like the only person I'd say in the UFC sort of sphere that became a pay-per-view star would be GSP. Was the number one pay-per-view star with Jake Shields in Montreal. And for so long, didn't talk. Again, he would say things here and there. He did the famous quote with Matt Hughes where he went into the cage and was like, I'm not impressed by your performance. There was that. That was the extent of his marketing. So I would always, when people always say like that, oh, Jack's not a star, I'm like, look at GSP. All he has to do is win. And that's all he's doing, is winning. All he has to focus on is fighting. All the other stuff will come. He doesn't have to worry about running around shirtless or being in his jocks like me. He can fight. That's what he is so good at. And again, I assimilate that to business so well because it's like he is such an expert in one thing. In a business, that's great. If I can be an expert in one thing, when you get to a certain point and you've got a team, it's great. But until you get to that point, you can't just be an expert in one thing. So for me, going up through business, I was trying to do everything. And as we've got to the point now where I sort of think I know what I'm doing a little bit better, I can focus on sort of what I think I'm good at within the business.
The big part that socials play a part of what you guys do. I was keen to hear your thoughts on sort of reality and perception and reality of you, like you personally. So like, not that I know you, not that we're best mates, but I feel like I know you off camera as well as probably this Daniel. And then social media, whatever the fuck you're on over there. So what's the go? Is it?
I'm an absolute dickhead. But that's the thing that's being
but you
correct. I love
being. You now you're a dickhead, or are you on socials you're a dickhead? He's definitely a dickhead on socials.
But I mean, whenever I say like, I mean that in a positive way. Like it's the Australian way. Like you say the C word, you're saying it in an endearing way. I don't say I'm a dickhead as I'm a mean, rude person. I say I like fucking with people. I like having fun. I am very self-deprecating. I can take the piss out of myself. I can lose on camera as many times as possible. But I'll also have a crack at someone else and lighten the sort of the setting. I've always been like that. I've always been a people person. I love being like a little ankle biter, just revving people up, getting reactions, getting emotions. That's where it sort of stemmed from. I was never a quiet kid growing up at school. I hit puberty very late and was always the little one. But I'd be having a crack at them all, just nibbling at the ankles, getting reactions from people. And I'm sure anyone who knows me or is friends with me will tell you the same thing. I'm not a quiet, introverted person. So if you met me in person, I don't think there'd be anyone who wouldn't say this. I'm a lot like I am on social media in person.
I thought you might be more introverted than you potentially are.
I'm out all the time. So like, again, I'm always working or I'm always traveling or doing something business orientated. When I'm not doing that, I'm at home. I don't do anything. Doesn't mean I'm introverted. That means that when I am not focused on something, I want to chill. All I want to do is be at home with my partner, my kid, and be at home. If I'm not traveling, I don't go drinking, I don't do anything. I've done all that. So when I do go out, it's 300%. That's what I like, I never ever want anyone to meet me and be like, oh, wow, that's not what I expected. Because I've had that experience with many famous people, with celebrities, and it goes back to the root of this discussion, this authenticity, and that's what I think I've built my brand on. There's nothing worse than meeting someone who you've been so excited to meet or see. And I'm a massive sports fan.
Like me, right? I gotcha.
But even in Australia, it is AFL. And I've met some players, and I'm like, man, you suck, eh?
Like me, eh?
Like you're like people you're inspired by and you aspire to be, and you think that you build this picture of what the world is and what this person is and what they've built, and then you meet them, and it's like, So like from that, there's a pro and con there. I think the biggest thing I did when I was young is started traveling and realized this. Like I was amazed by these US brands. I thought these US brands were the best things ever. When I was 21 or 22, I flew with a couple of friends to the US and met them all. And I was so nervous. But then I was like, you're just exactly like me, but older in another country. And from there, I was sort of like just desensitized to the idea of celebrity or whatever you might be. Because at the end of the day, man, they're generally just like you. They've just got lucky in their specific world. Again, I'm not saying lucky to downplay what they've done, but a lot of people get to where they are through luck is persistently doing what they're doing and doing it well, and then timing. A lot of people succeed that way, and definitely in my case I have. So when I've met sort of athletes who I've grown up playing FIFA, playing with them, and I meet them, I'm like, God, it's pretty cool. You're just like me. Like you're just like you're a person. Yeah. But I think the idea of celebrity and people looking at, obviously you're attached to a screen all day, like you're like, you don't know what those people are.
Yeah.
And that's when I think for me, a big thing was sort of realizing that from a young age is you need to be yourself. As soon as you try and be someone else or try and do what someone else is doing, and I see it all the time in business, especially in the industry I'm in, every lookbook, every video, style to product to colors, it's carbon copy. You can open 5 women's activewear brands in Perth. It's the exact same thing with a different logo. It is what it is. And now the whole thing in social media now is founder-led brands or creator-led brands. And it's people forcing themselves to do that. And it's inauthentic. You're not good for a camera. Get off the camera. Or if you think that's going to be your new thing, yeah, that's great. Put the same amount of effort you put into your business, into training, into learning, go to acting classes. That's the thing, for sure. But I think for a lot of people, it's inauthentic. I'm just lucky that I grew up loving a camera. I grew up being happy to be around people. That's played to my strength. There's a lot of things that haven't played to my strengths in business and will continue to do that. TikTok's a massive platform. I didn't like it for a long time, but then there's obviously ways and strategies you can use to change things on there and do things differently. But there's always things that are going to happen that's not going to be within your wheelhouse. Either you adapt and change and go with them, or you stay with doing what you're doing.
So if you look back to in your house, your mum's house, wherever you were when you first started StreetX to where you are right now, like where are you right now? Like without having to sell what you're doing, like where's the business at right now?
Good, amazing. I mean, it's
What is it now? If it was selling 50 t-shirts,
I mean, if it was an embarrassment back there, it's pretty damn good now. But it needs to be bigger. Right. I mean, that's my thing. It's the whole attitude I've always had. Is like it's amazing. Like I'd imagine friends or whatnot looking in think it's amazing, and I think it's amazing too. But I never sit back and be like, "This is so cool," because I'm always looking the next thing. There's Nike. I'm not even a pebble. I'm not even close. Not even a grain of sand compared to Nike. But I want to be as big as possible. So it's great. Like we've done an amazing. We've employed a lot of people over the years, given a lot of people jobs. We've given a lot of people at our factories we deal with jobs. Spent a lot of money doing what we do. And we've had a lot of damn fun doing it. But for me, I'm still at the start. Still year one. Like there's so much more I want to do. Like I just want to backflip at all times because I just get restless. Like we're not where we need to be. We're not where we need to be. We need to be more. That's just always been my mentality.
Will you always be out of Perth, do you think? I mean, like...
No. The plan is I ideally either continue being based here or move. I really want to target the US market more. We've obviously launched a business there, and we've got a third-party warehouse there. We launched that earlier this year. So that would be a big push, even more so for next year, and ideally potentially move there next year and just travel. Because that's a big part of what sort of set me apart from the start is traveling, and that's where all the experience comes from. You learn and understand how things work.
Traveling?
Yeah. And meeting people within the industry, meeting people who are suppliers or partners or people we worked with, everything good comes from traveling and who you meet, as opposed to sitting in a dark warehouse working 80 hours a week.
It's good. So if you look back to teenage Daniel, knowing everything you know right now, what would you tell him?
Start sooner. Start sooner and don't give a fuck what anyone says.
Is that right?
100%. Don't listen to anyone. Your friends are generally absolute idiots because I've been told by everyone it's not going to work. Still to this day. Staff members, family, friends, mentors, everyone's going to have an opinion. A lot of them have the correct opinions. A lot of them have wrong opinions. At the end of the day, if you've just chosen to be in the position like I put myself in, you have to be able to make a decision. If you can't make a decision, don't bother.
Mate, it's been pretty cool watching you do what you do, and perception, reality, wherever it is, somewhere in between. I've very much respected watching you go about your business. It's just somewhere down inside, don't let this go to your head. You do drive me a little bit. I'm like, look at this, guys.
Hey, I just imagine I get a lot of people unfollowing me.
No,
it's all part of that. That's
no. You drive me, mate. I watch what you do, and I'm like, I don't want to be like you. Of course not. But I see you drive.
Well, that's the end of the day. Our whole mission has always been to sort of drive people to be the best possible versions of themselves. We've never been a brand to put a mission statement up on our walls or that's the mission on the shirt. That's just not sort of where we've been. But that's what it's sort of, we've actually put pen to paper of what the mission of the brand is to give people the platform opportunity to be the best possible versions of themselves. And again, people might think, oh, you fucking sell t-shirts, bro. It's not about that. It's about if it's I can influence one single person, if it's an athlete we sponsor can influence one single person, if it's a t-shirt or anything we've done or one singular piece of content that someone's seen, that is positively pushing things forward. And that's always been the sort of the focus where we go now. Everything is done. If you see some content we've done where it might be seen as negative, again, the only reason we'd ever post that is because we take so much of the piss out of ourselves. We have the ability to have a crack at other people and have fun. Yes. And that's always been the brand. We've always been tongue-in-cheek. We always stand up for ourselves. That's what they know is. Fuck around and find out. That's what it's always been about. There's never... Again, at the end of the day, like the biggest thing in social media now is this whole stoic warrior garbage about you got to be a man. You got to do all this stuff. And you see dudes doing a high rocks and they're acting like they're going to fucking war. You do dudes getting up at 4 a.m. having an ice bath. You got to do hard stuff. Bro, you're sitting in cold water. It's about get a reality check. Go travel and see what poverty is like. Travel and see how a lot of people in the world exist. And that was one of the things I was exposed to through business. and a great upbringing is you see that from a young age. That's what reality is. Hardship is not getting in a fucking ice bath or doing 30 push-ups in a day or whatever it might be, or going to a Bali men's retreat. That's not reality. So that's why I think a biggest thing for us has always been is, again, be real and do what you want to do. And some people are going to love it, some people are going to hate it. It's all part of sort of learning and sort of growing and going forward, I suppose.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Dan from StreetX. He's off to do an ice bath. Thanks, mate.
Actually, I do really like ice baths, though.